Alright, I'm just going to quickly run through an example to help you get set up for the homework. If this example doesn't help, that's fine. We can work on it next week, and if you're still stuck, we can always postpone the homework, alright? So we can start off the term quite well. Make sure you understand this stuff. I'm going to just write down one question. Question 1, 5x plus 7y equals 43. We already talked about how this is still a line, but the format of it has changed. So it's the same. Here's another one, 5x plus 4y equals 31. All right, these are my two equations. I like to use this notation just to give them names because they're going to be changing, but it's still the same equation, but they're going to look different when I apply operations to them. So I just want to give them a name. What I'm looking for, well, let's say this is number, let's say number 1. Just going to put a red highlighter, and this one a blue highlighter. All right. So what I'm looking for is getting rid of a variable. I want to get rid of either an x or a y. So my eye is immediately drawn towards these two 5x's. Because I think that's the easiest way I'm going to get rid of a variable. It could have been the y too, but I'd like to go for the x because it's the simplest one. It looks like it's the easiest one. And I can subtract one equation from the other to get rid of that x. So I'm choosing to do the first equation minus the second equation. I can do 2 minus 1, or I can do 1 minus 2. The reason I'm leaning towards 1 minus 2, I'm just going to write it out like that. This is just my way of saying this is what I'm going to do. I'm leaning towards 1 minus 2 because here's a 7y and there's a 4y. So when I subtract this from that, it'll still be positive. And it's just a little easier to deal with positives. So I try to put, like you would try to put the bigger number on top for subtraction, same kind of deal here. All right. So we are going to do equation 1 minus equation 2. All right, we just go through each of these columns. 5x minus 5x is 0. 7y minus 4y, 3y. 43 minus 31 is 12. You can put a little plus there too if you want. You can put 0 plus 3y. You could have just written 3y equals 12 too. And this we can work with. Right, if 3y is 12, I'm just going to write it like this. You can use a different notation if you want. I like to say, I'm close to an answer here. I know I can just manipulate this a bit. Let's just divide by 3 on both sides. I'm just going to divide by 3 like that. That's going to give me y equals 4. I'm going to call this equation 3. Just going to give it a name so we can just keep track of what we're doing. All right. Y equals 4 gives me one part of the solution. So I already know one part of my solution is 4. I already know the y is 4. So I just need to find the x. You have options here. You can either substitute this y into the second equation, or you can substitute y equals 4 into the first equation. It doesn't matter. It will give you the same answer for x because it is the same point. There's two lines intersecting. It is the same point. It doesn't matter if you substitute into this line. Let's just say this is that equation 1, and this is equation 2 for argument's sake. It doesn't matter if you substitute y into the blue equation or if you substitute y into the pink equation. It is the same point. You will get the same x coordinate. So what's the easiest? Well, 4 times 4 is easier than 4 times 7, so I'm going with 2. So I'm just going to say 3 into 2. So that's what I'm doing. That helps the marker also know what you're doing. 5x plus 4 equals 31. All right, so let's just say I'm putting putting this 4 in there so you know which 4 it is. There it is. Okay. Therefore, move this up a bit. 5x plus 16 equals 31. Let me just get rid of 16 on both sides. So 5x is equal to 15. Therefore, I'm just going to divide by, you can either write it like this, you can just say divide by 5 on both sides, or you could just divide by 5. You could write it here too. That's the same thing. There. X equals 3. You're done. I like to draw a little line under it. And x is 3. That's the point. That's the point of intersection between the two lines. So when you're done, I like to write solution. You lose a point if you don't do this. Solution 3, 4. Just indicate this is the intersection of these two lines. That's a line. That's a line. They intersect, and the intersection is where x is 3 and y is 4. All right. So that's what you want to do for your homework. Let me know if you're stuck, and I'll be happy to help you out.